Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is me, Alicia. If this is your first time here, and if not, welcome back. Alright, so we are back with another episode in our Fearless Finance series. Before we get knee deep into the video, let's do a quick round robin with what I have on, and then we'll get into the details. Okay, the jewelry, as always, is going to be from the Live in Fearless collection. I've been obsessed, so we got in some new pieces a couple of days ago, and so it's the Sasha earring, which you guys have already seen, the Sasha ring, which you guys have already seen, but we also have, I'm going to take it off my arm, the Sasha bangle. So we have restocked everything because we were sold out of the earrings and the ring. We have restocked everything and added the bangle, and then we also just have a bunch of cute new bracelets in. This is the Ari necklace bracelet to match the necklace. This is Arcade bracelet, and then this is, I think this is the Ellis bangle. I love it. So I'll link everything that I have on. I just have on a white tank under this with a Burberry cardigan on top because it is cold in here, like I like it. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, first off, for those of you who have been commenting under the Fearless Finance series, just asking or wanting certain videos, thank you. I really want to be able to create content that you guys actually want to see. So I appreciate every single person that comments and says, hey, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on that? This video is a combination of a ton of comments that I have gotten from people asking, how do you budget? I mention it all the time. Check your budget. Is it in your budget? I'm literally saying that all the time, and a lot of questions that of course would be asked would be like, hey, what do you use to budget with? So I thought that this would be a good video just to kind of give you, I think I have five different budgeting apps that you can use for your budget depending on what kind of budget that you have. Okay, so me personally, my personal budget is done through Excel. I have a budget template that I created for myself, and then I've just been adding to it over the years. My corporate America job, I work a lot in Excel. It's probably 90% of my job is living in Excel. So I have become very proficient in Excel. So macros and pivot tables and V and H lookups, that's just something that my budget has, but it's because I'm proficient and I'm comfortable working in Excel. So I have my personal budget, and then I also created William's personal budget in Excel, and I give him his budget every year or every 6 months, and he's fine. I can give it to him and he's fine. There is an app that we use together for our joint accounts, and that's going to be in the list of apps that I give you guys today. Okay, so the way this is going to work, I have a total of 5, and I'll also put up some notes here in case those that like to be visually and like to see the words rather than me talking about them. I'll do some quick bullet points over here, but we're going to go through the 5 apps. We're going to go through kind of an idea of how they run, if I have used them before, what my experience was with them before, just some pros and some cons, then I'll give you guys the cost as well. Like I said, most of these are apps, and I think that one of the best ways that I could say if you are trying to create a budget, stick to your budget, look at your budget often, would be to do it through an app. Even though I have an Excel file, I have to sit down and update my budget because it's not something that I can look on my phone and be like, oh, okay, let me see what this is. So I do it about 2 to 3 times a week. I can sit and I have to sit down and look at the file. So I think that for those that are just starting out, or if you've created a budget, you're not really sticking with it because you can't see it every day, I would say an app is the best way to go, just simply because it's with you all the time. You can look at it, you can update it. It's with you as long as you have your phone. I also am going to be pulling up my phone, referring to some of the notes that I took, because if y'all think that all of this is up here and I can remember all of it, you do realize I just had a child a year ago. So mommy brain is, so I will be referencing my phone for some of the details on the apps. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, the first app I'm going to mention is probably the app that most people naturally gravitate to. It is free on both the Google Store, Apple Store. I want to say they also have a desktop version, and that is the Mint app. The Mint app is one of those apps where you can connect your accounts and it will track what you're spending. So let's just say you go to the gas station today and you spent $75 in gas. It will say, hey, you know, fuel $75. Are you sure this is where you want to categorize it? And you say yes. I actually started using the Mint app in 2010. So it's been around for quite a while. It's one of the constantly rated #1 apps. So I started using it in 2010 when I was trying to figure out, where is my money going? Okay, I know I just got out of school and I got this good job, but my money is gone by Friday and I just got paid last Friday. Like, this should last me more than a week. So it's there when I was deciding, okay, where is my money going? And the Mint app was able to help me with that. I slowly transitioned off of the Mint app because it's not really a budgeting app. It's more of a tracking app. So it does it after the fact. So after you spent your money, it tells you where you spent today. It doesn't do it beforehand. But what I will say is that if you are trying to define a budget, or if you are constantly going over your budget, I would say to try the Mint app for several months, because that can help you see where your money is going. It does a good job with categorizing. So it says, like, if you say, okay, I only want to budget $200 for entertainment, but then you sign up for this Mint app and you can see over the last 6 months you spent $600 in entertainment, then that lets you know, okay, maybe my budget of $200 for entertainment is dramatically under because I'm always going over budget. So I think it's a good tool if you're trying to define, okay, this is how much money I need to budget for fuel. This is how much money I need to budget for transportation or for insurance or for bills. It's a great way to start tracking your spending so that when you get a good idea, you can determine how much money should be in each budget category. Like I said before, it is free and it's one of those easy, simple to use apps on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the hardest to navigate, 1 being the easiest. I'm definitely going to put this at a 1. Just sync your accounts and just let the app do the work for you. All right, the second app that I'm going to mention is actually the app that I used before I decided to create my own, and that is You Need a Budget, or YNAB for short. It is about $14.99 monthly or $99 a year. YNAB is really great for those people that are on a zero-based budgeting system. Zero-based budgeting is saying every single dollar that you have is going to be accounted for. So let's just say it's Friday and you get paid $1,108.28. YNAB is going to say, okay, I know exactly what you need to do with those $1,108.28. It's going to account for every single dollar that you have coming in. I personally liked YNAB because I felt like it's a more of a complex. So you can add your credit cards, you can add your bank accounts, you can add your investment accounts. It gives you a really, really nice portfolio of all of the income or the assets that you have. It has your income, it has your expenses. You can categorize your certain savings into certain buckets. It's really one of those, in terms of a 1 being easiest, 10 being complex, I'm going to put it more of a 6 or a 7 depending on how many accounts that you have added to the app. One of the main reasons why I transitioned from the Mint app to the YNAB account was because, like I said, it's more of a proactive approach. So I can put in YNAB that I only wanted to spend let's see, $300 in groceries, and YNAB will have it in there, and then it kind of alerts you when you're getting to your budget for groceries. It also is really great for goals. So if you have like a savings goal and you say, hey, I want to save $10,000 this year, YNAB can say, okay, you get paid, you know, twice a month, this is how much money you need to put towards your savings goal, towards your savings bucket, in order to have the goal. It's just an overall really, really good budgeting app. What I will say is that after you have decided what your budget is going to be, and you can say, I know for moving forward my groceries is going to be $200, transportation is going to be $400. So once you've created those set amounts for each category, I personally would transition off of Mint and would go to YNAB because it's a true budgeting system. It also allows you, like I said, to add and to sync all of the accounts where you have assets or liabilities for credit cards, because credit card is a liability. We'll get into that later. But it lets you track all of your transactional or money financial accounts. So that's one of the main reasons why I do personally and like YNAB, and of all of the ones that I'm going to be mentioning, that's probably going to be my favorite. Also, for those that are just curious to see how it works in real time, Kiosha is currently using YNAB for her budgeting system. So I will link her, I don't know if she has a finance playlist, but I'll link her YouTube channel below. And she does finance videos or budgeting videos every single month. And she also uses YNAB. So if you want to see like real time what it looks like, what it feels like, you're welcome to go over there. Like I said, I don't use it anymore. I want to say I haven't used it in about 5 years, but it is one of those where I felt like I was able to get a handle and a control on my finances and my budget through using that app. Okay, so there is 2 different versions for EveryDollar. There is a free version, and then there is a paid version, which is about $12.99 a month or $79 a year. The free version, I wouldn't suggest for many people. If you're going to do the free version, you might as well just go to Mint. That allows you to sync accounts, because the free version doesn't allow you to sync any accounts. It's just something that's very manually. So if you put in, I have $700 in my Wells Fargo checking account on Monday, and then you spend some transactions, when it comes time for Friday, you have to put all that in manually. So I personally would suggest the paid version. So with the paid version, which like I said is $13 a month or $79 a year, you can link your bank accounts, you can link your savings accounts, and then your investment accounts. I'm not really sure if you can link their credit cards. I think that's more of a YNAB situation, but you can link those accounts, and then your transactions will automatically appear. What I like just from me doing research on the app is that it looks like after you've done that for a month or so, or maybe even a couple of months, it can give you reports and recommendations based on your habits. So I saw one where it said, let's just say you're constantly going out and you're spending a ton of money at Publix going grocery shopping, but your budget says you're only going to spend $100. After a couple of months, it can give you a report that basically says, are you sure you only want to put $100 in for your groceries? Because based on your spending, you probably need to put $250. So it has an ability to kind of give you recommendations, kind of like a financial planner, but only $80 a year versus several $100s a year for a financial planner. So it's able to give you recommendations that says, hey, I don't think you're properly planning your budget accordingly because you're constantly going over. So it's able to give you those reports that spit out. So like I said, I would opt, if you're going to do EveryDollar, I would opt for the premium version / paid version. If you say you want to do with the free version, I would honestly, just based on the research that I've seen, I would go with the Mint app, because it's a lot easier. You're not having to do anything manually. The goal for budgeting is to try to make it as simple and automatic as possible. Okay, so the fourth app that I'm going to mention, I didn't even realize it was an app, and if I'm being honest, I think it could do some improvements, but I know a lot of people do this cash envelope system budgeting, so I figured that I would mention that, and that is GoodBudget. So for those who are unfamiliar with the cash envelope system, it is a system where when you have your budget, you have all these different categories. Let's just say you have it in Excel. Cash envelope system converts those categories, puts them into physical envelopes, and those envelopes have the cash for the budget. So say for example, your grocery budget is $100 on this app that I have, my zero-based budgeting app. I then have a envelope that says groceries, and in that envelope has the amount of money that I have budgeted for them. It's a great way for those who want to make sure they stay on track with their spending. If they have a tendency to get lost in the sauce, or if they have a tendency to constantly go over budget, they say, okay, I am only going to take this $100 envelope with me to go to the grocery store. What I spend is max $100. So I have seen a lot of people that says, I'm only going to take this. I'm not going to take any credit cards. I'm not going to take any extra cash because I am tempted, or I constantly go over budget. This is my way to train myself to only go in the store and get what's in the budget. That is essentially the envelope system. So GoodBudget has 2 different versions. There is a free version, and then there is a paid version. The paid version is about $8 a month, $70 a year. What I will say is both the free and the paid version don't offer financial syncing. So everything that you're doing has to be manual. So you would go in at the beginning of each month, put in how much money you're going to get paid, put in how much money you're going to budget under each individual categories, and then when you have transactions, you have to go in and manually put those transactions in. So if I say I have $2,000 this month, I'm putting $300 in groceries, and then the next week I go to Publix and I spend $46, I have to go in there, put in, hey, groceries, Publix, $46, and then it takes it out and it has a virtual envelope that says, oh, okay, well, you took out $46, this is how much money you have left in groceries. So the difference between the free and the paid version is the free version, let me see, the free version allows you to have 2 devices and unlimited envelopes. The paid version allows unlimited envelopes and accounts for up to 5 devices. I think for me, if I'm creating this app, and once again, it's more of a tracking app, not necessarily a budgeting app, but if you're going to create this app, and in my head I'm thinking like, okay, working with a developer, I would want there to be some kind of syncing. I would want there to be some kind of something that says, okay, even if they can't sync all these other different accounts, can we at least sync a bank account that says, okay, this is your income, and then you would have to manually put in your categories and then your budget, and then it would pull in the transactions that says, okay, you budgeted that you were going to have $200 in groceries, you spent $50 at Publix, now your virtual envelope for groceries only has $150 left. I feel like there's not really that much difference between the free and the paid version. So I am mentioning this app because I know some people do the cash envelope system, and if there is a better app out there for that, please let me know. As I was doing research, I didn't see one, which probably explains why it's probably one of the top 5 budgeting apps on the App Store, because that one specifically addresses cash envelopes, and that's a big budget system that a lot of people use. I just think that it could be done a little bit better. I'm just saying, if I was a developer, I would try to find some way to sync. And I know it's expensive, and it has to be very secure to sync accounts, but I think that could take the paid version up a notch, considering that the paid version is $79 a year, and YNAB, which syncs absolutely everything, is only additional $20. So if I were me, I would do the YNAB and then have my own personal cash envelopes in my, like, physically have them. But that's just me. Moving to the last one. Okay, the last app that I'm going to mention, and it is one of the only apps that I still use, and that is HoneyDue. HoneyDue is an app that works perfect for couples. Me personally, it's an app that me and William share. It's not really a budgeting app, so I will say that. If I look at an article, it says HoneyDue leans more towards reflecting and learning about past transactions rather than planning ahead for expenses. So if you're looking to have a true budgeting app for you and your partner, I would not suggest this. However, me personally, me and William use it as a way to keep track of our joint accounts. So me and William have separate savings accounts, have separate checking accounts, have separate investment accounts, but then we also have a lot of things that we share together. We have a joint credit card, we have a joint checking account that we use to pay bills, we have a joint savings accounts, 2 of them actually, one for Alexander and then one that we use to plan travel, and then of course we have different loans. We have a home loan. So there's those situations where we have joint, those are the ones that are sitting on the HoneyDue app. Like I said, it's not really a budgeting tool. We know how much money we're going to put into travel because I've already budgeted that the year before. We know how much money we want to put into Alexander's savings account. We know how much money our mortgage is. We know how much money we're going to put in for our credit card to pay it off. So it's not really a budgeting app. It's just a great way for us to be able to see at any point in time what all of those accounts look like that we share together. Alright, so guys, that is the end of this video. I hope this has been very insightful and informative. Like I said, I know a lot of people have been asking. I'm always mentioning budget, and I'm always going to continue to do that. And so for those people that, you know, Excel might be too complicated or they don't want to have to deal with Excel, I thought these were some great apps that are out there on the market. I tried to make sure that they were also available on Google Play for those that have Androids, and then as well as the App Store, just to get you started creating a budget, get you back on a budget if you had kind of fallen off, or to get you an idea of, I don't even know what you're talking about, give me something simple. I'm hoping that one of these apps was able to address your budgeting and financial concerns. I will link all of the apps below. I will link the Apple link, as well as the Google Play link for those that want to go ahead and get started on their journey to being open and honest about your finances, because I think that's a very big taboo that I am trying to not really change, because you know, it's gonna take a lot to change, but I think it's really great to start a dialogue. So I hope that this has been very helpful. If you have reached the end of this video and you have not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Also click the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. While you're here, guys, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys Thursday 7 o'clock. Later.